2022 was a tremendous year for anime. If 2021 was already great, it somehow outdid it. From all the amazing sequels to some of the best new anime, this year never seemed to slow down. With every season, there was always a guaranteed banger to watch. From isekais to a lot of cute girls doing stuff, to rom-coms to insane action, and even some ecchi stuff for some. So I'm here to count down my favorite shows of the year. If you follow the channel, you know we've pretty much seen everything that's come out, so it was a challenge to boil it down to these select few. If any big show is missing, it's probably a sequel to a series I haven't started yet, so sorry about that, Bleach fans. But it's all in good fun, and if you think I'm missing out on something, let me know below. But anyways, let's get to it. Even thinking about number 15 was a tough choice, but my pick here is the final season of Attack on Titan, but for real this time. That first half was fire. We keep that momentum from a year ago. The action inside the walls, the mind games between Eren and Zeke, and that reveal of how this has gone down has been the best thing MAPPA has done for the show thus far. Second half was a bit weaker in comparison, but it was still great to see the build up to the third part. We're close to the end of one of anime's biggest hits, and the anticipation is high. Probably the most unpredictable show of the year. PA Works struck gold with the original story of Akihabara's organized crime scene in the late 90s, under the guise of one of Japan's many gifts to weebkind, maid cafes. The trailers couldn't prepare me for the shock of episode 1, showing this gritty take on how these slowly pick-themed maids have to risk their lives every episode to pay off the bosses of this crazy ecosystem, and how it explodes into bloody gun and fistfights, all while being greatly animated. Plus, the designs work well in blending the weeaboo side of the maid world while still being grungy, and the contrast just works in being really funny with every new creative scenario. And the great main duo help in grounding us in this insane premise enough to root for them. A welcome surprise to the year. Before this, whenever anyone mentions Cyberpunk 2077, I'd only think of the glitch fest of a game they have. But now, I still think of that, and the story of David in this amazingly creative adaptation. Trigger tells an impactful story with this interesting world and set of characters that ooze charm with their unique blend of animation throughout. The tragedy of David's need for revolution in this tech-heavy world that has failed him is such a compelling story. Add on a memorable side cast with some of the year's most popular girls, a great soundtrack, creative action, some really crazy concepts, and you've got a well-rounded 10-episode story that packs a neural implanted punch. Overdosage, classism, betrayals, mind hacking, PTSD, great romance, it's all here. While I do think this would have benefited from a few more episodes, this was a big win for video game adaptations. Another unassuming banger with a weird premise by PA Works. An ancient Chinese war strategist is transported to the future to a party club in Shibuya, where he meets the aspiring singer Aiko. He gets determined to help her reach the top of the music world, and they become a team. I'm a big fan of their relationship, and the way they affect other singers and such while reaching the top was heartwarming and fun. It's kind of a miracle how this ended up working, but the great and charming cast, cool colors, and surprisingly emotional and motivating scenes helped this music anime with actual good songs be a shocking hit in an already packed spring season, and it hopefully has more to come. Mob Psycho is one of the best anime series out there, and Season 3 bookends the story of Mob's growth, and it really challenges him in the first and third arcs. We get a satisfying conclusion to this world with a view of all the characters we've grown to love, while Bones stitched out the usual beautiful and fluid animation we're accustomed to. The first arc has that mystery and suspense to it that climaxes with that amazing fight, and while the second mini arc was random, it was a wholesome reset to get ready for the last arc, which was an emotional ride. In an era with shows going on with no end in sight, it's nice to see this one go out on its own terms, and done beautifully. It's tough to see our boys go, but they've definitely left their mark. After Gigak made a video on the series, I was very excited to see how an anime with this chill concept would work, and they nailed it. The vibe with the night colors, the wacky visuals, and the OST are perfect. It's the right background to this quirky yet kinda deep story of Ko and how he wants to escape his dull routine of a life, and how he explores this alluring nightscape where he meets the laid-back vampire Nazuna. The idea of him wanting to become a vampire by trying to fall in love with her is an interesting way of representing his wish to leave everything behind just for the thrill of something new. And while the show does start off just having our main duo goof off and explore, little by little Ko is challenged to rethink his goal. So it's a great mix of relaxed, visually pleasing episodes that can go from inspirational, funny, action-packed, suspenseful, romantic, and more. And it's pretty cute to see both of these characters trying to understand the idea of being in love. A really enjoyable show that I can't wait to get more of. Anime really capitalized with the World Cup by putting out 2 great soccer shows last year. But for me, the best one for now was Aoashi. Both shows deliver on the football part, although while Blue Lock focuses more on the attack position and is way more fast-paced, Aoashi has more layers to its story, more build-up to Aoi's beginnings, and more details to how the game works. And while it does have a slower pace, this helps give a bigger focus to the sidecast, to some great romance, and some hard-hitting emotional moments. That train scene still gets me. Leave it to Production IG to make another great sports story. Maybe it's because I finally discovered the absolute hype that is Haikyuu last year, but I get some of those vibes out of this show as well. I'm really hyped to see more of Aoi's journey. Made in Abyss continues to shock me. Like, after season 1 and the movie, how can you top some of those horrific lows our main trio have experienced? What can be lower in the Abyss to still give us that sense of adventure, while still challenging our characters even more than before? Well, a whole lot, actually. Season 2 keeps the quality and magic of this show going, be it the creative locations, new characters we're gonna grow attached to, that probably won't make it long, the amazing soundtrack, great designs and animation that tell the story of the first group of explorers going into this world, with all its marvel and tragic turns. Faputa and all the steps that got her into this world is some of the most screwed up stuff I've seen animated. But also seeing more of Rick's past, and seeing Nanachi and Riko grow and stay determined keeps me happy. One of anime's best, somehow mixing wonder and horror perfectly. Hopefully we won't have to wait long to go further below. Kaguya-sama continues to be one of anime's best rom-coms, and season 3 finally did the thing. The school festival arc is such a great time with all our main cast, and with such an amazingly sweet payoff. This season also introduced a bunch of extra characters from other classes and such, and while I think it was a little slower than the other seasons at times, the usual skits always push forward. Whether it was Chika teaching Shirogane, the rap arc, Hayasaka getting more screen time, Kaguya being adorably oblivious and the best character, etc. And as always, A1 always nails to capture the gag humor so well, alongside the voice acting of course. One of my all-time favorites for a reason. And I need that movie to come to the Americas already. Chainsaw Man was easily the most hyped up show before its release, and how could it not be? A great manga by a great creator, and Mappa throwing everything on there, and even the promise of 12 different endings. This was touted to be an easy anime of the year, heck, anime of the decade for some. So, did it live up to all that hype? Not entirely.
Okay, now you die.
I mean, I still love the show. I love the characters, I love the story, and this effed up world full of interesting demons and powers. The fight scenes, the relationships, the comedy, and the beautiful animation that the majority of the show has. And I say majority because some scenes do fall flat. And this comes from someone who hasn't read the manga yet, but I do appreciate the highlights we got from this portrayal of the story. I do acknowledge this could have been directed differently though. The show is at its peak when the Gun Devil arc starts. Aki's backstory, the hotel premise, Himeno and Denji's bonding, Makima and Denji's bonding, and of course episode 8 and 9, which was one of the year's biggest shockers. My opinion might change when I read the source material, but as is, I'm very glad to have watched this show. It may not have reached the absurd hype levels promised, but hopefully we do get more soon. Lycoris Recoil was a great surprise for me. Cute girls being badass, the perfect anime combo. But seriously, I love this show. The female John Wicks trying to keep Japan secretly safe is a great premise, but introduce some of the best girls of the year, Chisato and Takina, and you're set. Chisato might be one of the most likable anime protagonists in recent time, with her being quirky and nice, while also being a tremendous fighter, and being able to dodge bullets like it's nothing. And paired with Takina, who is more cold and calculating, but she slowly learns how to relax and enjoy life thanks to Chisato and the Rikoreko crew. Add on the amazing animation and fight sequences, great OST, well-developed world and side characters, a well-thought-out villain, twists and turns, incredible voice acting, and you have a complete package. Of course, my favorite part is Chisato herself. It was so fun watching her backstory and her ideals, combined with her intoxicating charm and wit, her badass moments, etc. An awesome original anime done extremely well. This desperately needs a season 2. Beyond the hype for sequels and for Chainsaw Man, for the most part, 2022 was the year of Spy Family. A dream combination of wit and Cloverworks brings to life this fantastic idea of the undercover spy Lloyd and his fake family formed with Dior the Assassin and Anya the Psychic, or the Reaction Goldmine. While the show is more of a laid-back romp compared to a lot of the other top shows, its strength lies with the amazing comedic timing and situations this premise gives us, as well as the heartwarming emotional beats we got from time to time. Lloyd and his team's full commitment to the mission, regardless of how dumb the obstacles are, works well against Dior's unpredictable nature, and Anya just being Anya. To be honest, Anya's moments in her school and her interaction with her new parents, her schoolmates, and Bond are the highlights. Combined with the gorgeous animation and visuals, great OST, amazing voice acting and such, this was a smash hit. And with the movie and season 2 coming along, it's not stopping anytime soon. Ufotable just keeps on surpassing itself, man. While I do think Demon Slayer's first season wasn't as strong as the show's hype would lead you to believe, the movie and this arc were beyond amazing. After such a gut-wrenching blow to the Demon Slayers, this season takes our trio and the flashy Tengen into the Red District, and I feel it brought out the strength of the series. Great character moments between our heroes, and hilarious gags at the start, with some mystery sprinkled in, just for the second part of the season to explode with some amazing and creative fights, new moves, and twists. And yes, they somehow elevate what they've done before with so many flashy moments, different animation techniques, and amazing storytelling throughout every single episode. Having to wait a week for the next part to air was painful, dude. And all of it culminated in such a heart-racing finale. Easily some of the most hype moments of the year. Unsure where the story goes from here, but with Ufotable leading the charge, I'll always be excited. Biggest surprise of the year. And while my number one is my personal favorite, I really think Bocchi is the overall best anime of 2022. Cloverworks had a tremendous year, but this just feels like the combination of everything good they've done. This adaptation feels on par with Kaguya-sama, but they somehow take a step further with the crazy changes in animation style. Puppets, live action integration, super fluid moments, different angles, stop motion, and a lot more. It just feels like everyone was having fun making the show. Pair that with the great cast of characters, their simple but memorable designs, hilarious dialogue and gags, next level voice acting, amazing soundtrack with some absolute bangers, and yeah, Bocchi herself. My introverted self just relates so much with how she struggles to talk to other people, or do normal stuff that extroverts can do easily. But her reactions and faces just always makes me laugh. And whenever she's able to reach her goal, or just accomplish something, it just makes you so proud by proxy. And that last performance where she improvises on the spot, it gives me the chills, man. And her solo, it's so good. And her chemistry with the rest of the girls is just so wholesome and hilarious. I like how they just come to accept her for who she is, and egg her on to be this amazing guitar player. And each one of them also stand out thanks to their wacky and nice personalities. It's the perfect blend that delivers this amazing show. It's an easy recommendation for anyone, even if you're new to anime. From any point in this medium, it delivers on all fronts. It just rocks. Before I get into my number one, here's some very honorable mentions. Vanitas no Carte had a great sequel, with a very interesting first arc, with some great scenes between Vanitas and John, like, ooh boy.
A little bit spicy.
Along with the amazing soundtrack and visuals, I really hope this series keeps on giving. Romantic Killer was a really fun ride, going from funny rom-com with jumpy charismatic animation and style to a more serious tone halfway through that I wasn't expecting. But thanks to the main cast and spunky main girl, it works really well. The Witch from Mercury was a trip. Some incredible 2D animation for the mechas, mixed with some high school drama in a heavy political world. It does take its time on some parts, but that last episode makes it all worthwhile. Like damn. I'll talk about that later. it doesn't count, but the 86 finale was freaking phenomenal. I couldn't stop rewatching and bawling over it. Kotaro Lives Alone was way more emotional than expected. Takagi-san, Do It Yourself, and Harin-san gave me all the diabetes, and these were really good as well. But I gotta move on with the video. If you know me, any show that has time travel will always catch me. That chaos when the essence of time is manipulated, the consequences of altering the past, the rules and calculations needed to reach a goal, it's just really compelling to me. And I feel that Summertime Render is a great addition to this genre. Heck, from episode 1 I knew that would be the case. It's difficult to explain the show without spoiling, but that tells you how every episode just advances a plot along. How the show is filled with twists and turns, how you're not sure who's an ally, who's mafia, the limitations to Shinpei's powers, etc. And while that goes on, we explore this quirky cast of characters that you promise you won't get attached to, but they really make it hard to do so, which is a fantastic feat in a show like this. Shinpei and Ushio are just an insanely likable pair. The OST fits perfectly, be it mysterious, action-packed, or chill, whenever we get to take a break from the craziness. And the animation works really well, showing us the nice bits to some of the most gruesome stuff. And as convoluted as time travel can be, they explain everything pretty well. I never found it difficult to figure out what was going on. It was really exciting to understand the ideas, and find the little clues hidden in plain sight. It might have been difficult to watch since it was on Disney Plus jail, but now that it's more available, please take my word for it and check it out. The amount of hype and suspense was insane, and I enjoyed every single moment. I cheered, I gasped, I cried. No doubt in my mind that this was time well spent. And those were my favorite shows of 2022. A lot of great shows I didn't mention, but that's just the mark of a great year. I know the channel isn't anything big, but it was really fun being able to express my opinions and share my love of so many great shows we got to see. So thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for liking and subscribing, and being a part of this little side of my life. Here's hoping 2023 is even better. Please stay tuned for more. And as always, it's been Jules, I hope you have a great one, and I'll see you all for the next one.